And
We're all talked out.
we're live. Well, hi, I'm Joel Bear.
And I'm Kim Anderson.
And we want to welcome you to this Halloween edition of Missoula Live. It is Monday, October 31st in the year 2016. We got our hats on in honor of the day.
How long my hat will stay on, but
I'm looking at myself. This
what do
is
you
kinda
think?
nice.
Yeah, you
I
could.
think I got a new
you
trend
could
going
use
here.
some Lady Clairol and you
Yeah.
get that effect.
No, this is terrific.
I
So
like it.
we do have a non-Halloween show, I guess, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
we didn't
we've got,
really.
We've got a wonderful group of people. I don't know if anyone will come out in costume. We'll just see.
Okay.
But I have but a few MCAT things to say to you, dear viewer, and that is that MCAT has a tour and training every second Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. You do not need an appointment to come down here, and you can just show up. We're at 500 North Higgins in the northeast corner of Spruce and Higgins. You can call or go to MCAT.org. You'll see a map of where we're located. So the purposes of this tour and training is if you want to make a show of your own, if you want to borrow cameras, learn how to edit, you can do so. The date is November the 9th, and the time is 5:30. It's the second Wednesday of every month. And then I wanted to remind you, and Scott is showing you the website at home, our
yeah.
Saturday drop-in animation has been on since September. And it's drop-in, so there's the slide for it.
Has it been as popular as
Yeah.
last year?
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's
going
still
well.
going strong.
They usually get 8 to a dozen kids,
Wow.
so they're not overwhelmed,
Right.
nor are they underwhelmed.
Just right.
Yeah, the kids seem to be really still into it. And they do a lot of work with the Legos, and they make short little stop-action movies for 4 hours, and they could take breaks. And it's $10. You can come anytime, 1:15, 1:30, 2, and so on.
Great
So
thing
that's
to
all
do with the
I
kids.
had for MCAT.
And I just have another little reminder. I am the Director of Programs and Grants at Humanities Montana, which is our state's affiliate of the National Endowment for the Humanities. So we give away money for people who are doing humanities-based projects. And we do programs all over the state, but we have a grants deadline coming up. If you have a project involving history, literature, philosophy, ethics, jurisprudence, or a variety of other disciplines, then you might take a look at our website. There it is
It's
on the
on
screen.
there.
And our grant guidelines, if you go to the grants tab up on the top and see if it's right for you. The deadline is December 20th. It has to be for public humanities programming, so it has to involve the public in some way. Check it out. That's
Nice.
it. Yeah.
Well, on to our first guest. Ann Marie Brinkman is here representing International Choral Festival. Welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you for having me. I'm
welcome.
excited to be here again.
I just realized how well we match. This is brilliant. It's
inversion
so good. I know.
well, you know, orange and black.
I know. It was kind of the obvious choice for
Yeah.
both of us. But
Yeah,
hey, what the
yeah.
heck?
Right. So, International Choral Festival, beloved festival.
Yes.
You want to explain to people what that is?
Yes, I would love to. We just had our festival here in July 2016. It was a huge success. The community comes out for this. And if you don't know about our festival, we bring international choirs from all around the world. So this festival from Hong Kong, Georgia, Poland, Costa Rica, Cuba, and they all perform in a 4 to 5 day festival event. And
Right.
we had a new event, the Choir Crawl, this year, where we set up choirs in downtown venues like Plonk and Fact and Fiction,
right.
and the library, our beloved library.
Right.
And people went around kind of like a sort of first night in July. It was so well received, and the choirs were singing on the sidewalks, and the
that's
choirs were
great.
interacting with each other and with the community. It was just so wonderful. And then, of course, we had over 100 volunteers help
Wow.
during festival week, and we could never put this on without the Missoula community, and then 90 or so host families
That's
to
great.
host
So the host
our
families put people up from the international
Community.
location, so
Yeah.
they could also do a bit of visiting and
Yes.
cultural exchange.
Yeah, they stay in their homes, and there's quite a bit of cultural exchange, which I think is one of the best aspects of art besides the music.
Right.
But a lot of people make friends, and they'll go visit them in their country.
I have had a few friends who have done that,
Yeah.
who've ended up going to Europe or
Yeah.
South America to visit their choral friends.
Yes, isn't that amazing?
It
That
is.
sounds great.
And it really, when you have these guests in our home, it really shows you how small our world is, how many common beliefs and values we all have. And it's just a great thing for the community. So our next festival is until 2019. We have 3 years to
I know that sounds
put
like
together.
a long ways
It
away
does,
right
but it's
now,
not.
but
no,
Comes
it'll
around
come
again.
fast. And one of the things we do is the Messiah Benefit Concert, and that will help us begin again to raise some funds for the 2019 festival. And we do it in partnership with the U of M School of Music, which is a great partnership. The university has been with us since the beginning. The festival was started by the choral director in 1987, Don Carey, beloved community member. And so our connections run deep. And we do this fundraiser every year together, and it's coming up, and we always run it Thanksgiving weekend. So it's Sunday, November 27th this year, and it's at 7:30 p.m. at the Denison Theater. Free to the public, although we are doing a suggested donation of $10 at the door. And then we would love to call all singers. I know you've considered it in the
I
past.
chickened out last
Okay.
year. I did.
chickened out
I
on
chickened out,
me.
but maybe I'll be brave this year.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's great fun. Dr. Edmonds is the director, and if you've never been under him or seen him direct and rehearse, he is so passionate and just energetic and fun. He just makes that music come alive. So we have 2 rehearsals for singers that are, what do I want to say, not mandatory. One
But
is
suggested.
suggested.
Right.
Yeah, the first one is November 13th, and it's from 5 to 7 p.m. in the School of Music, room 218, and then the next one is the next Sunday, which is November 20th. And the one rehearsal that we ask everybody to make is the dress rehearsal on November 27th.
Sure.
So if you can't make those Sunday rehearsals, don't fret. You can still be in it. And of course, our website has all kinds of information on how to register.
Yeah, there it is,
There it
calling
is.
all
Good,
singers.
good.
Calling all singers. And singers, what they do is they raise money through pledges. It's $85 minimum, and then we hope that they will go out and ask all their friends and, supportive people, get on Facebook. Anybody who's
Right.
asked you for money, it's now your turn
Boy, yeah.
to ask them. It happens.
It's like the many walks and bike-a-thons that people engage
Yeah.
in, right? The same
Yeah.
model. Like, I'm going to perform in this event.
Yeah.
And, can you sponsor $10, $20? And the
Yes.
minimum you hope to get is $85 per singer.
Yes, yeah, and we have some very philanthropic singers. They always come up to that minimum for us, and we have a lot of people that return year after year, and it just amazes me, their dedication and willingness to donate, and their time and their talent. And
How many
so-
people are in the chorus for it, typically?
Well, typically we have around 100
yeah.
people, and it'll vary a little bit depending on whether the choral students are going to be involved. Every other year, the U of M chorale joins the chorus.
Oh.
Yeah, so
That probably helps a lot.
that helps quite a bit. It's great.
Right.
It's good for the students to
Yeah.
learn that music, and it's good for us to fill out those parts.
Sure.
This year is an off year, so they're busy doing some other performances and
Oh.
stuff like that. But they're still encouraged to join us as well, and some do. So I have some returning students already. So that's great.
Oh, that's excellent. And the performance is free with a suggested donation of $10.
It is, and we have some great soloists on stage for the solo parts, and Stephen Kahn, the
His
dean.
baritone, wonderful.
Yes, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. And Creighton James and Ann Basinski
Oh,
and
great.
Kimberly James. So we've got some fabulous soloists with fabulous voices, and then the orchestra is a professional orchestra, and the chorus is a community chorus. So this has been going on since 1995, so over 20 years
Yeah.
in Missoula, and we're just so glad to keep up the tradition and kick off the holiday season.
Yeah, it's a
Right.
great way to get into
Oh,
the
yeah.
spirit.
Yeah.
And Ann Marie, are you already starting to think about choirs
Oh, yes.
around the world? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You're already
yeah.
planning?
In fact, well, right after the festival, believe it or not, I got a kind of deluge of emails saying, we would like to join your festival next year. And so I had to keep.
Oh, tell 'em to wait.
Yeah, but I kept all that information, and we opened our application in 2017, so they don't have to wait too long. But
Yeah.
then it's in the festival itself is 2019, and our artistic director will travel to Cork, Ireland, and there's a big international choral festival there,
Oh.
and he'll kind of preview some choirs.
Great.
And we'll extend some invitations off of that, and then he goes to Florence, Italy as well.
Tough
Nice.
gigs.
Yeah.
Ireland, Italy.
He works really hard.
To find the new
Well, yeah, and
Talent.
his is a volunteer position, so I consider this very little perks for all the
All the work,
yeah,
yeah.
he does all the scheduling, and he
Yeah.
really puts a lot of heart and soul into it. So
That's great. So if singers out there are interested,
Yes.
they should go to the website. I know that Scott showed it. It's just internationalchoralfestival.org.
choralfestival.org. Yeah,
Yeah.
choralfestival.org.
Yeah, they could
And
just
that'll
Google it
get
and
you
then
right
get to
there.
calling all singers, and they'll
Yeah.
learn all the details of registering and
Yeah.
these rehearsal dates we mentioned.
Right.
Too.
Yes, and there's even rehearsal tracks, so you can rehearse. So
Oh,
you can
no,
practice
that's a
your
good
tracks.
idea,
Yeah, yeah. So you should join.
All right.
All right.
I'm all enthused again. So.
All right.
That's correct.
Well, congratulations on another great
Yes.
festival.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank
And
you.
good luck. It's time to start thinking ahead to the next one.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I do have to say thank you so much to MCAT, because you
Oh,
guys
you're
came
welcome.
and recorded
Filmed a lot.
many of our performances, and then you've given me access to those. So I'm working as we get up our new website. I'll have some highlights from 2016, and they will include some
Oh,
of the
nice.
stuff you guys did
It's
for
so
us. It
popular.
was so
it really
nice.
is. People
Oh,
enjoy
yeah.
it. You know, Scott made a short little clip we played, I think, before while we were talking, but you could play it again in between guests.
Yeah.
And we put it on our Facebook. It's just about 90 seconds, you know, of one of
Oh,
the
yes,
choirs.
yeah.
And it's been seen over 3,000 times.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah. Yeah.
that is amazing. Yeah. Well, we really appreciated it. It kind
Oh,
of
you're
came up
most
at
welcome.
a last minute, can we do this? And it
Yeah.
worked out, and I've been so appreciative of
Oh, well,
having
good,
that and
good.
having that footage. So, and thank you for having me. It's
Oh,
so
you're
great to
most
see you guys.
welcome.
All
Yeah.
right.
Well, we'll be right back. You can take a look at one of a short snippet of the International Choral Festival, and we'll be back with our next guest in this Halloween show. Yeah. Let's see you soon.
This is the story of a boy who is very sensitive to lights and sounds.
Birthdays come and go, each year adding up to a lifetime full of extraordinary moments. At Missoula Aging Services, we promote the independence, dignity, and health of older adults. We are ready to help connect seniors to the help they need. Knowing you've got friends to support you, each birthday can be special. See how we can help. Call 728-7682 or log on to MissoulaAgingServices.org.
Do you want to answer that?
Nah, I'd never with a kid in the car.
It's okay. I'm not here. I'm there.
In 1969, Montana declared the swift fox to be extinct within the state's borders. Because after all, the last time someone had documented actually seeing one of these was on the east boundary of Glacier National Park back in 1918. Then, in the 1980s, thanks to our Canadian neighbors, North America's smallest canine launched a big comeback.
Canada began to reintroduce swift fox in an effort to reestablish them on the prairie. Then the first international census was in 2000 and 2001. This is a repeat of what was done 5 years ago. We are having pretty good success. We're capturing approximately twice as many foxes.
We're back. I don't know what that was. There was
Already.
while we were talking, there was something about little foxes in cages.
I know, it looked disturbing.
Kind of, yes. It's Halloween, folks.
Yeah.
Matt Lautzenheiser is here.
Perfect. Yeah, there you go.
He is representing the Historical Museum at Fort Missoula. And we're going to talk about, well, we were talking about the book sale.
We are.
Yes.
It's coming up in just about 10 days now. It's our annual used book sale for the Friends of the Historical Museum. We, like a lot of organizations, we have both our Historical Museum group, which is under the wing of Missoula County. But we also are really fortunate to have a wonderful Friends group.
Yeah.
And that Friends group, they do restoration projects. They help with funding for educational projects. They're the group that goes out a lot of times and applies for the grants for different things. And they also administer to our big events. I'm sure you guys have been out to our 4th of July event.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Which is big. And then this book sale, which amazingly has grown to become our largest fundraiser just in the past year.
It's certainly got to be one of the biggest in the community.
It is. It's interesting because a lot of the volunteers that work on our book sale also do I believe it's the AAU book sale in the spring.
University Women's.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's nice, a lot of those same volunteers, and they're passionate about kind of getting these books, and we were talking before we came on air here about giving them a second life. I mean, they don't end up in a landfill. They end up in somebody's hands, and they pass on their knowledge, and they're entertained, or whoever they do to another generation.
Now, before we get into the details of the sale itself, is there still time for people to donate books?
Yes, we are still actually. I took 2 donations in today. I was out in my truck picking up books.
Great.
We do it year round, although as you can imagine, it tends to get a little busier this time of year.
Yeah, I'm sure.
But we store them, and we have a wonderful group of our friends volunteers that they actually come in and they sort all the books for us, and they put them in the boxes. And there are some that just don't fit with the sale. But I'll tell you, it's really quite an eclectic mix of books. I mean, a little bit of something for everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Jesse had talked about some treasures that were out there, you know, an early Peanuts comic book. And
there was one that was actually
any?
signed by Charles Schultz last year.
That's
that
it.
we found.
Yeah.
Which was really cool.
Yeah.
You know what? A lot of what we find are a lot of these really neat, like early Western history and Montana history books.
Oh, sure.
Some of the really kind of rare texts that have been published over the years, and a lot of those will surface, especially when the donation comes from an estate sale. Because a lot of them come through that, or somebody will pass away and the family has these shelves worth of books and they don't want to throw them away. They know how much it meant to the person, so they'll look around and hopefully they eventually settle or find us.
Yeah, it's a good way to contribute to another organization.
Yeah, we have a woman that we work with as part of our group, Andrea Merrillmaker.
Oh, I know Andrea.
You know Andrea?
Yeah.
So Andrea actually goes through, and anytime our sorters find a book that they find it's especially interesting and they think might be valuable, they'll set it aside, and Andrea's kind enough to come in and she helps us special price those books. So, you know, we'll talk about pricing in a second, which is really fun, but we also have a special price table where we can keep some of these real treasures.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, let's talk about the price.
Okay, the important stuff.
Because people think about the brown
right?
bag sale or books by the inch.
Oh, you sound like you've been to our sale before.
Oh, sure.
Oh, yeah.
So we'll hit on details here. So the event takes place at Heritage Hall, which is one of our great partners out at the fort. We're so fortunate to have, I mean, obviously with the new Fort Missoula Regional Park moving in. But the Rocky Mountain Museum of Military History is a great partner of ours, and the folks at Northern Rockies Heritage are wonderful partners as well. So we work with them, and we fill Heritage Hall with books. The sale actually runs from November 10th through the 13th. And a couple new things we did this year that are a little different from years past. We actually are going to do extended hours on Thursday. So in the past, we've always just done a 10 to 5, but we realize that there are a lot of folks that work that maybe don't get a chance to come out. And sometimes they get there on Saturday or Sunday and things are a little picked over. So
Right.
we decided to extend. We're going to do from 10 to 7 on Thursday, and then our normal 12 to 5, or I'm sorry, 10 to 5 on Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday we always do 10 to 2. And you mentioned the bag sale.
Yeah,
Yep.
bargain time.
Yeah, so throughout the sale, what we do is we charge $1.15 each for books. So it's always kind of fun because the people walk up with their big stack of
Right.
books and they set them down, and we put a ruler up to it and we measure and charge them by that. But then on Sunday, as you mentioned, we do the bag sale. So you bring your bag in, or we can provide bags, we'll have them there, and it's a flat $10 a bag. So as many bags, and you wouldn't believe how people can jam books in a bag.
Yeah.
But it's great. I mean, because a lot of the books we're kind of stuck with at the end of it, of figuring out what to do with them, and we try to either pass them on to the other sale, or potentially we try to recycle as much as we can.
Sure,
Because again, the whole goal is not to have them end up in a landfill.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But two of the other things that are kind of new this year with this sale is we are going to have an ATM machine on site,
Oh, convenient.
which is very nice, very convenient for folks. And we had an artist, actually, you know, Jesse Rogers, our development associate.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Jesse's mother is an artist, and so she created a special limited edition bookmark. And the first 500 people that are going to come out to the event this year get a limited
Oh,
edition
that's
bookmark.
really
That's
nice.
special.
So it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's just trying to add those little extra things in, and you know, again, like I said, this event, as much as anything we do, it's just a win-win for everybody. I mean, it's affordable books for folks to
Right.
get at.
Right.
It's keeping, you know, trash and keeping books out of our landfills, and it's a great fundraiser for the museum too.
Yeah, and for all of us, I mean, besides
Oh,
just
yeah.
getting to go
Public
and
benefits.
rummage through all those
Yeah.
wonderful books, which I love, it's just a treat to get out to the fort
is.
area, and the Heritage Hall is beautiful, and
It's the architecture of the fort and the
Yeah.
history at the fort, and I mean, I feel so fortunate to work at a place that has so many layers of history and so
Right.
much. I mean, Missoula's stories are fascinating, and I think the fort is kind of a microcosm of that. And you know, anything from the early pioneer era history or the early fort history, and then you have the 25th Infantry and the Bicycle Corps, and then you know you move forward to the CCC camp, which the new Fort Missoula Regional Park is going to interpret
Right.
through the architecture and signs. And then, you know, the last era is that internment era,
Yeah.
which is a pretty relevant area to discuss today, and something that, you know, I think we feel there's a real importance in us sharing that story. There's some lessons to be
Absolutely.
learned there.
yeah. So it's coming up.
It's coming up. I'm so glad you came by for the reminder that
know.
this event is coming
No,
up.
and-
And it is fascinating to see, you know, there's always be these trends. Like we've been stumping for the library in our spare time.
Yep.
Since we can't politic as a nonprofit. And then often, you know, you might read in the paper in the comments section, oh, nobody goes to the library anymore. And now we find like a book sale is a major fundraiser.
Yeah.
And
It
we
is.
know that there's tons of people itching to get at this sale. And so that, you know, people make pronouncements like, painting is dead. And then there's all these paintings.
And then, yeah.
The
Well,
book is over. The book is so 20th century.
Never.
Well, I mean, you look at when Kindles first came out. I remember everybody thinking, oh,
Yeah,
within
this
10
is
years
it.
the books will
Right.
be gone, and people still love books. There's still, I mean, I own a Kindle and I use it for occasionally, but there's still something special about holding that book. in
Oh,
your hand.
absolutely, and especially used books. I find, you know,
Yep.
they've they smell different. They've been through a few hands already, and
Sometimes there's the underlining. When you're
Right.
looking, you're
I
like,
know. Or
Why
it's-
did they emphasize that part?
Yeah. When the sense of history you get holding
Yeah.
some
Yeah,
of these books.
exactly.
I know I've been going through lately kind of a Hemingway phase. I've been reading a
Oh.
lot of Hemingway novels, and I was able to get my hands on a 1930s copy of To Have and To Have Not. And I'm reading that now, and it just makes me happy to hold the book and to read it. And,
Absolutely.
And you just feel like you connect to that sense of place and that author in a different way than I think I would, you know, if I were reading on a Kindle.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
and I
'Cause
found
it's
some.
anonymous. There's something like
Yeah.
the material is just breathing through the same
Yeah.
thing.
Right.
I think of
It's
all the
another
people that have held
texture.
that book and enjoyed that book.
Yeah.
It's just kind of neat. Yeah.
Well, I found some great treasures at your sale. So,
Excellent, good.
the dates again: November
10th through
10th
the 13th.
10th through the
So it's
13th.
Thursday through the Sunday.
Right.
And then at Thursday is the late night.
Yep,
And go
7
to
o'clock.
7. And then it's 10 a.m. to 5.
And then 10
Friday,
to 2 on
Saturday.
Sunday.
Right.
And then the 10 to 2 for the bag sale.
Well, we hope you break all your records.
Yeah,
I hope so
we're
too.
looking
I hope so
forward to
too.
that. And
It's all
thanks
for good
coming
cause. The
by.
Friends do
Yeah.
great work, and it helps us to do a lot of those major projects and programs that we do at the museum.
Oh, sure. All
Oh,
right.
and you know, I want to remind our viewers that
Yes.
MCAT has added the Historical Museum to our collection of what's showing around town. You know, we have a colleague at MCAT who does the art shows at the MAM and at the ZAC and at the Play
Oh,
Studio.
great.
So I was talking to Jesse about it this fall, so we recently added the shows.
Oh, good.
at-
That
Excellent,
was.
good.
you know, just like a little slideshow, it's like 2 minutes to give you an idea that this is part of what you can see in person should you go to
Good.
the actual place.
I mean, we've got such a great arts community in Missoula, and such a wonderfully supportive community that comes out and, you know, makes that possible. And I think museums, to me, are part of that arts community. So I think it's great that you've got us and our programs and exhibits on there.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. That's help.
All right. Well, thank you.
Well, thank you
again.
guys for having me.
You
Yeah,
bet. You bet.
I saw John Combs hiding out there.
Oh, good.
So maybe he's next. I don't know. Stay with us. Maybe this time, Scott, will you show him the Choral Festival clip? I promised him the last time. Yeah, he says he will. I'm going to give him just a second. He's like going over to the computer. But we've also enjoyed that, you know, using Facebook, putting on little clips of the work that we do. It's getting a lot of views. Like
Right.
this 90 seconds, I think they're singing a popular American song, but the choral group was from Hong Kong. 3,000 views on the Facebook.
wow.
Yeah.
clip. All right, he's ready. Here you go.
At Missoula Aging Services, you'll always be greeted with a warm welcome. Whether you are caring for an aging loved one or you're an older adult yourself, our friendly staff is ready to connect you to the help you need. You will always get unbiased advice, a free assessment of your needs, and personalized information about the resources available. See what we can do for you. Call 728-7682 or log on to MissoulaAgingServices.org.
Hi, I'm Kate. Did you know Missoula County has an awesome website where you can view anything and everything you need to know about the election? MissoulaVotes.com is your election toolkit, which is like a Swiss Army knife for voters. This resource will help you be election ready. Not only will this site help you save time on or before Election Day, but MissoulaVotes.com is equipped with election forms, access to the My Voter page, a glossary of important terms, links to candidate information, voter information pamphlets, a voter checklist, dates, timelines, and polling place locations. If you're an absentee voter, you'll even be able to track your ballot as it makes its way back to the elections office. Make sure you're election ready this season and don't miss your opportunity to vote. Why wait? Don't start late. Visit MissoulaVotes.com today.
I think so.
We are back with
We're
John
back.
Coem. He is the Fine Arts Director for Missoula County Public Schools. Welcome and thanks for coming.
It's great to be back. Thanks for
Yeah.
inviting me to come back and talk about kids.
And we were just chatting in the break, and you're in temporary new offices of some kind?
Yeah, I don't, no, temporary for sure. I don't know about new offices, new to us.
New to you.
We are in the oldest building in the school district, and that,
Yeah.
of course, is the administration building on 6th Avenue.
That's where when I was in the orchestra, we rehearsed in there.
That's
Oh,
right.
is that right?
Yeah,
Wow.
on the
a
top
million
floor.
years ago.
That's right. It's been fun to see some of our more experienced staff talk about that.
Yeah, more experienced staff.
Right. Because the big changes in the district as the school bond passed last year, so many schools are getting reworked, and there's been a fair amount of shuffling around, of course, as that happens.
Yeah, so the Fine Arts Department, which was at Jefferson School, we pulled out of there so they could get the school ready to for Jefferson, or for Franklin.
Yeah.
And so now I guess over there they're calling it Frefferson. makes it fun for everybody. But they've done a beautiful job on rebuilding that facility, and of course everybody is so excited with what is coming down the pike with new facilities.
Oh, wow.
The buildings were needing some help, and so we are so appreciative of Missoula voters giving us the opportunity to do that.
It's thrilling. I drove by Lowell the other day and had to pull the car over to look
I did
because
too.
it was so
The
exciting.
addition came so fast.
I
was
know.
Like, where did that come from? But the school seems to be getting more school on the north end of
that's
it.
exactly right.
Well, do you want to explain to people what the Fine Arts Department does throughout the district of Missoula County Public Schools?
Well, the Fine Arts Department is responsible for all of the arts K through 12. So visual arts, theater, musical arts, it's just all-encompassing. And we have responsibility for making sure that every kid has access to those wonderful creative opportunities. And so a lot of that is in music has to do with performing. And so what we were going to talk about a little bit was the upcoming holiday concerts, and we've got dozens of them
This is
available.
a very busy time of year for you, I know.
It's all busy, but December tends to be just crazy.
Yeah.
And a lot of that has to do with the fact that means that teachers are busy with kids learning about music. And so just this week, for example, here we are at the very start of November, and we will have concerts all this week in multiple locations, and it will just keep going that way until we get to the end of our time in December.
Right.
Well, that seems an important piece of the education process with music and performing art and so on, is the sharing part. I know for a lot of kids, like when I first mounted the stage at a tender age, my heart was just breaking out of my chest. You know what I mean? There's a point of anxiety, and yet if it's not too intense, it can be such a rewarding experience that you are performing live with the audience.
That's right, and you get better at doing that. So as exciting as that is when you are a kindergartner or first grader or whatever, just kind of, you can barely take a breath. By the time that student gets to high school years, or they're a senior, they have been there, done that, and they are just so comfortable in front of people. And that translates then into other parts of their life, of course. And it's just an exciting thing to see kids and how they develop that confidence and their ability to do what they do well in front of others.
Absolutely. And now Missoula is one of a very select number of cities and towns in the nation that are kind of in the lead on arts education. Is that right? Yeah,
not only were we given the best communities for music education in 2016, we're also a part of the Any Given Child initiative for the Kennedy Center, which speaks to all the arts. And so we've been very excited to be a part of that and working with the Kennedy Center in getting arts integration into classrooms, and then of course expanding our arts offerings.
Right, and we're in like the second or the third year of that
Actually,
program?
this is year 4 now.
Oh my gosh.
So it's
Is that the
fun.
one called Spark, or Spark?
Yeah, and
different program?
correct. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
The Any Given Child from the Kennedy Center is the name of the overall initiative, and then each site can call it whatever they want. They don't limit you in any way. And so we thought, we felt that Any Given Child sounded a little bit like No Child Left Behind.
Right.
People got confused with that, and we didn't want to have that confusion. And so we decided to call it Arts, or Spark, Arts Ignites Learning. And that has just been a fantastic opportunity for kids.
Oh, that is great.
Well, and it's a huge acknowledgement of your leadership here in the district. I mean,
Well, congratulations.
Well, it's a lot of people's leadership that have made that happen, for sure. We just have a new Spark executive director.
Oh, right.
And Jacqueline Snow is her name, and she's been doing great work, just right off the bat.
We've got to get her on this.
Yes,
Yeah,
we do.
we will.
Yeah, she would be able to really give you some great stuff
Terrific.
that's going on. But at this point, every one of our K through 8 classroom teachers has now had arts integration training from a Kennedy Center clinician.
Wow.
I mean, just so that they are able to take that science, math, reading part of their curriculum and then balance that equally with another part of the arts curriculum, which would be visual arts or dance, or and mold those two things together.
That sounds wild.
Which doesn't take away at all from the arts for art's sake part.
Yeah.
It's just it's a better way to teach kids, because there's that component that sometimes kids don't get if they're just sitting in a desk and looking at a board. And then when they can get a kinesthetic learning going on, it's explosive.
Oh, yeah.
Henceforth, spark.
Because I could see people doing, a dance thing built around the concept of the solar system.
Well,
with the
Carrie
sun in
Kaufman
the
has a
center,
great
the-
program where she does
does she?
dance and science.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
The dance of the double helix. DNA is flying about.
You've got it.
I think I got some ideas. Well, Neil Wells, there's a teenager that works for MCAT. He's a Hellgate student. And often, enough anyway, for a history assignment or civics assignment, he will make a video
Right.
here as part of a fulfillment of some history or civics assignment.
Yeah, it's been a tremendous way to get the kids engaged in their learning through the arts, because that creative part of who we are and the ability to connect those things together, it just really speaks to so many students.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. So the holiday concerts, there's too many probably to rattle off.
Oh, no doubt.
MCAT will be there for some.
Yeah, we so
typically
appreciate
get
that.
Maybe a dozen or something like that.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Oh, gosh.
But if folks want to get to that, they just need to go to the MCPS website, which is mcpsmt.org. And eventually on our front page there will be a holiday concert icon, and you'll be able to click on that and
we've got
just
the
see.
website up now,
so
So it's early enough yet, seeing how it is the
Yeah.
last day of October, that little icon isn't on there, but it will be unmistakable, and you'll be able to pick that out.
Because sometimes your own children don't tell you in a timely fashion about it.
I, as a parent, have heard that happen in my own home, yes.
And also, I mean, it's always a vision that I have, that things in a technological society get too boxed in, so that people don't go to the school. Sometimes, during the day, you must sign into the office.
Right.
It just is always like a deal. But the concerts are open to the public.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
So people say, what are they doing with all my tax money? Here's a grand opportunity to see some of the work that's being done.
And it makes such a difference to kids with mom and dad, grandma and grandpa. I mean, those folks in this town are always coming to the concerts. And it is, I can tell you, after being kind of the fly on the wall who can watch the audience and watch the kids, you see those little pumpkin heads looking for mom and dad.
Oh, yeah.
So if mom and dad, you can get there, and it's, even though it's only for those few minutes, it really makes a difference for kids. And our parents are great about that. They are showing up in droves. And one of the nice things about some of this reconstruction is going to be able to open up more parking in some places.
I was going to ask about that. Will there be in some locations better, eventually better?
The question is, could there be worse in some locations?
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, it is all part of the plan, because we realized, that access is a big deal.
Yeah. And even if you don't have a child in the district, what better way to get in the mood for the holidays and to go see a bunch of adorable children?
And they're actually really good too. It's not like a total act of charity.
No.
They are really good at the high school level, especially amazing. Some of the things we've recorded over the years are like, wow.
You would be stunned at the level of competence and just clear singing and just beautiful voices that you're hearing at the youngest ages. It is really remarkable.
It is really
Our teachers just do a great job.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, thank you for,
thanks for taking the
strengthening
time,
the arts in all of our children's lives. Thank you so much.
It's an honor.
We got anyone, Scott? No, he says no. So I guess it's Halloween, though.
That's true.
Who are we missing? The gal from the Poverello. We miss you. And not to mention
Public shaming now is what we're doing.
Who?
Dan Gallagher.
Oh, Dan. I wonder what about Dan.
I don't know.
Oh, so Dan is not here. So I am going to, on closing, though, make this note for Dan Gallagher. Dan has put together the Veterans Observances on behalf of American Legion Post 101 here in town from time immemorial. He's a wonderful guy, probably just forgot. So this is what's going to happen on Thursday, November 11th, while I'm in Hawaii. There will be an observance at the courthouse lawn at 10 o'clock. And Dan has a number of speakers lined up. You know, typically there's a senator, there's a lieutenant governor, the mayor is going to be there. The program will be about 50 minutes long. We'll be there to record it, but if you would like to go, courthouse lawn, the 11th day of the 11th month.
Yes.
I don't know why they're not doing it at 11, but it is at 10 a.m. that day. Reminder from MCAT that our Saturday animation is accepting children 9 to 13 for a mere $10 for 4 hours between 1 and 5 p.m. every Saturday. They can enjoy stop animation activities here in a merry group with MCAT. And then on November the 9th, that Wednesday before the 11th, at 5:30, there's a free tour and training of MCAT to see if you want to borrow our equipment, learn how to edit, make a TV show.
And if you have a humanities project, a December 20th grant deadline with Humanities Montana. And I'll be here in 2 weeks alone.
Yeah, I'll
with
be having
guests, I
my
hope, but
operation.
not Jaws.
I'm expecting a big comeback
You better be
on the
watching though
28th,
from your
of course,
room.
from
Okay.
my hospital room. So happy Halloween, Missoula. Have a safe night. We'll see you in 2 weeks.
Bye.
Time. We'll see you next time. Bye.